Before we get into the game, there is one more thing that HSR posted earlier today / last night, and that is the Developer Radio 3.0 Amphorius Special Edition. Is my mouse gonna show on screen? Yes, it is. That's fine. Oh dear goodness. Stop that. A couple of things that I want to talk about, at least briefly, because they did seem interesting to me, to say the least. Following the launch of version 3.0, the Express crew has received an array, is that how you say that word? Of feedback from Trailblazers during their exploration of the new world. Some of this feedback concerns issues with Trailblazers' experiences with the story and exploration. We'll be making adjustments and optimizations to address these issues with the aim of bringing Trailblazers a smoother journey experience. Trailblaze mission story issue. This is the main thing that I saw and that I want to have a closer look at. We've received feedback from Trailblazers that the Amphoria's main story contains excessive lore exposition and too much reading, resulting in feelings of fatigue and tedium. I'm gonna read all this first before I give my opinion. Amphorius has a complex design, and during development, we wanted to ensure that the information supporting it was as complete as possible. Understandable. However, the result has presently failed to meet Trailblazers' expectations. In response, we will address the root of the issue by reducing design-related explanations in the story. In upcoming versions, Trailblazers will have the option of skipping this content so that they may experience the main story in a more relaxed manner. You can either choose whether you want to hear more about, I guess, the setting, whether you want some extra world building, some extra lore, or whether you just want to get right into the action, I guess, which I don't know how I feel about that. This is sort of getting close to what some people have been asking for in regards to, a skip button for main story content, or just for story content in general. And while I'm not against that, I do think a skip button, even though, personally, I would never use it, at least not for main quests, a skip button would, for the people who just don't care about story and the plot at all, who are just there for the gameplay, which I think, to each their own, to each their own. Those people, it would help, so they don't have to sit through hours of story or even main story content. They can just get right into the game, which, personally, I would say it's a shame, because HSR is a very story-focused game, but those people wouldn't have been paying much attention to the story anyway, and then would have spouted some nonsense based on the 2 lines of dialogue that they read somewhere, and the rest that they just skimmed through or just didn't pay attention to, so I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But this one seems to be more like giving you the chance to skip certain parts or certain scenes or certain dialogue. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because number one, maybe that's just me, but from what I remember of the exposition of Amphorius and, all the dialogue, the lore that they gave us didn't really feel like a lot. It didn't really feel like too much. I think genuinely, most people who say that or who claim that might have just been the ones that tried to do everything in one go and then ended up feeling overwhelmed because they tried to run through a 10-ish hour quest without breaks or without taking the time to process everything. I guess we'll have to see how they do this, because I feel like the lore to Amphorius, so far everything, or at least nearly everything that we've gotten, is important to the plot and story. And I sort of worry that by giving people the chance to skip just certain parts of it, there might be some confusion when it comes to maybe terms that were explained, or just in general, parts of the world that some people might have just skipped over, and that it might come up again later, and people might get confused, if you know what I mean. Again, I'm not against a skipping feature in general, but I feel like then it should just be skip the cutscene or the quest in general, like in total, not just certain parts. I don't know. I'm feeling a little iffy about that one. To give another example, when facing Ornyx's trial in the Abyss of Fate, Trailblazers must try 3 different methods: placing the flaming lance and bat, standing on the top, and attacking the scales weighing pan. To complete the Titan's test, following adjustments, these 3 attempts will become optional, thereby greatly simplifying the progress and improving the flow of the story. This one I can understand more, because this was a scene where all 3 options that you had were wrong. I understand in cases like this that you can just skip past this and go right to the correct one. Parts like these I understand. At the same time, we will also look to arrange and present missions in a more reasonable manner and reduce tedious narrative experiences like the black screen with white text. Honestly, I don't even mind the black screen with white text too much. Just give us just like a click to continue. You know, like if you give us 4 lines of text on the black screen, give us time to read it. Just let us read it at our own time and then click to continue, you know? But, I mean, more animations and more cutscenes and stuff, still good, still good. Personally, that's never bothered me. This has never bothered me too much. It's just the fact that it goes, like, some of the text just goes by too fast. Mission puzzle solving issue. The Amphoria's main story contains some unique stage gameplay, and our aim was for Trailblazers to experience the rules and design of the world, both through the content of the story and through this gameplay. However, in practice, we should have achieved a better balance between puzzle solving and story, with puzzles also containing too many steps. This often resulted in puzzle solving interrupting the flow of the story and distracting from the experience. To tackle this issue, we will optimize main story puzzle solving designs and provide simpler and more direct solutions for some puzzles. I do hope that they keep the difficulty and are just referring to, like, when you play through a story, lessening the steps that you need to take to complete a puzzle, a story-related puzzle. That, I think, is fine. Taking version 3.0 as an example, again, in the Blood-Bathed Battlefront cast from Kremno's Soul Forging Zone, Jesus Christ, restoring 4 Soul Forging statues to piece together Nikador's divinity. Following adjustments, Trailblazers will be able to choose to talk directly with Nias and complete the mission objective in a more Kremnoan fashion. Before reaching the Soul Forging Zone, Trailblazers must complete a series of drawn-out puzzles to proceed to the final battle. Following adjustments in some of the puzzle-solving rooms, Trailblazers will be able to choose to progress the story in a more Kremnoan fashion by talking to Nias and engaging in battle. Oh, interesting. So you'll be able to choose whether to do the puzzles or just fight. Okay. I will say this was one of the few parts that, for me personally, felt a little dragged out. I didn't mind the puzzles, but it felt a little too drawn out. That is true. At the same time, we will optimize the lengthy and complex map pathing. Pathing? For the main storyline's exploration. The overly concentrated enemy placements in certain areas will be reduced to prevent enemies from frequently interrupting map exploration and puzzle solving. This aims to enhance Trailblazer experiences throughout the main storyline. So just removing some enemies. That's nice. That's fine. That's good. Although it does look, you know, better like this. It does look kind of awesome. It was a little annoying to, like, run away from them. To reduce any negative experiences caused by the above issues and make sure overall quality meets everyone's expectations, we are continuing to polish and fine-tune upcoming versions of the game. Regarding existing content for version 3.0, we will proceed with the aforementioned adjustments. We anticipate these adjustments will take effect from version 3.2. Okay. Amphoria's is a year-long journey, and these story and puzzle-solving optimizations are just the beginning. The Express crew will continue to optimize content. We're excited to bring everyone a bigger and better journey experience. Says. There was no A in there. To name some examples, we'll be adding richer combat gameplay and challenge goals to the game. Okay. In addition, issues close to Trailblazers' hearts, including difficulty deploying older characters on the battlefield, and the strengthening of these older characters are already on the schedule. This is huge. And I think that's it, yeah. I am curious about this. No, stop. Buffing older characters. I do wonder how they're gonna do it, but that would be great. Because, listen, whether people want to acknowledge it or not, power creep is a thing in this game. It is a problem. And the fact that they're addressing this, I appreciate that. But, yeah. Again, I'm a little worried about the, I guess, sort of skipping function that they're thinking of adding for certain scenes. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. They're gonna have to make sure that, like, it's really only parts that wouldn't matter to the story at all, you know? Like, I don't know, I'm a little iffy about this one, but we'll have to see how it looks in-game. Stuff like this is fine. Even in these cases, I will still pick every wrong option. Just because You never know when there's gonna be some good old fun flavor text. But parts like these, I get it. I don't mind story puzzles being easier and quicker. That's totally fine. I would personally prefer that even. And yeah, this like buffing older characters, nice. But yeah, that's that. Saw that. Thought it would be fun to go over.